I have my client here, and the purpose for this test is to get a submaximal VO2 reading to see where your client is at cardiovascularly. It's a great test that's not super difficult for the individual that may have a sedentary lifestyle or hasn't been working out as much as they could or should. Before proctoring the test, it's important that you go over a part Q with your client. Emily and I went over questionnaires on medical history, her current state, and made sure there wasn't any high health risks or previous family history of high blood pressure, heart rates, diseases that could cause there to be some negative readings whenever we go into a test. So the first thing we did was when we set up a bike was to make sure that the seat was the right height. You want to have the seat at her bottom stride almost extended but not quite. So there's a slight bend in her knee, and then when she brings it up, she's not cramped, but she's about at 90 degrees at her top end of her cycling. I have explained the test to her, but I'm explaining it again for you guys. So the test starts off at 3 minutes, and that gets her warmed up in the first stage. The weight that we put on here, it determines the resistance of the cycling. We start off with 150 kilograms, and she's to keep 100 beats per minute cadence. She's to continue that same cadence throughout the entire test. If at any point she starts to struggle, then the test is ended, and then we take what data we have and can analyze it. After the 3 minutes, I'm going to take her heart rate, and then depending on where her heart rate is, will depend on how much weight we gain and add to the resistance. So the first subcategory on the list is less than 80 beats per minute. We would add 750 kilograms to resistance. The next tier would be if her heart rate's 80 to 89 beats per minute, we'll have 600 kilograms of weight added. If it's 90 to 100, it's going to be 450 kilograms of weight added. And then if it's above 100 beats per minute, it'll be 300 kilograms of resistance. She'll go through a stage of that, and then each stage is 3 minutes like we said, and there's 4 stages total and then a cool down. Emily here is 35 years old, so to estimate her heart rate max, we took the really easy formula, which is 220 minus the age, so 220 minus 35 gave us 185 for her heart rate. That would be her max. Since there's not a physician available, and even though she's in great physical shape, I don't want to push her to her max heart rate. So we're going to do 80% of her maximal heart rate, which would be 148 beats per minute. If at any point during the test her heart rate gets right about 148 beats per minute, I'm going to stop it, even if she's comfortable, just because I don't want it to push what I'm trying to get here. So just for safety precautions, it's important to not push your heart rate above what the max reading is. There's other formulas for this heart rate max estimator. I know that if you're over 45 years old, you really shouldn't use this 220 minus your age. It becomes inaccurate depending on how physically active you are. That can play a part into your heart rate as well. So some people might be able to have a little higher heart rate. Like I said, this is just an estimate, just to have a rough understanding of where she's at. We took her heart rate, resting heart rate, before we started this, and it was at 72 beats per minute. She has been kind of going and doing some stuff throughout the day. It's not morning, it's not a true resting heart rate, but it gives us an idea of where she's at before starting the test. Her blood pressure was 123/68, which is great. I'm happy with it. So we're gonna go ahead and get the metronome going and get her 3-minute warm up in. We're a little over a minute and a half into her warm up. I will monitor her heart rate every minute on the minute, just to make sure there's no dips or drops that are abnormal. Like I said, if that does happen, we should probably stop the test just because it's an abnormal reading. But so far she's doing good. Her estimated rate of exertion, we just did it at the first minute, but it was at a 2. And we're doing the 0 to 10. So 10 being she's giving her maximal effort, 0 meaning this is really easy. So 2 was this is easy, she doesn't have a problem with it, and we're going strong. So she's coming to the end of her warm-up. Her heart rate is currently at 77 beats per minute, palpating it for 10 seconds. She's at just below 80, so she will fall into the first tier, which is the most athletic, best in shape. So we're gonna go ahead and add 2 kps, making a total of 2.5 kps for the first stage. Estimated rate of exertion, a 7. Okay, so she's working, but she still is able to keep that cadence. So we're going to continue with the test. And it's about 45 seconds into that first minute. And her heart rate is about at an 86. So it's increased 6 beats per minute that first minute, which is normal. It's going to kind of, with each stage, it'll jump a little and then fall into maybe a lower, more steady reading. Alrighty, so she's 2 minutes into this second stage, and her heart rate is at about 92 beats per minute. So she's still, working, but it's not super hard. So we're gonna add another KP, making a total of 3 KP, or 900 kilograms. She'll continue to work for 3 minutes. Estimated rate of exertion. Definitely 8 or 9. 8 or 9. So she's working hard to keep that cadence. She's still able to do it, but we might be close to reaching her max. Heart rate has jumped to 111. Yeah, let me see what palpated we're doing. She's at about 110 beats per minute, so she's still doing good. So we're ending the third stage. We would go on to the fourth stage. However, even though her heart rate is only at about 120, 122, we're gonna stop the test because her estimated rate of exertion is almost to a 10. She's having trouble keeping pace with the metronome. So we're going to go ahead and keep her pedaling, but remove the weight and let her go into a cool down. So we're going to keep her cooling down for about 5 minutes and let her heart rate drop. Emily did a great job in this test. Upon first doing the test 6 weeks ago, she fell into the category of 90 to 100 beats per minute for her initial weight description. This test, her heart rate stayed low after that first 3 minutes, so we put her in the most difficult category. Because of that, she did struggle and didn't make it to the fourth stage, but I think will have a great reading on data. I think her VO2 has increased since the last time we did it. Her heart rate stayed low pretty much the whole time. Like I said, it's a hard test when you go into having 900 kilograms of weight on there. So their resistance is definitely increased. And when her RPEs are at 10, there's no point to try to push it. So it was a great test. We're gonna go ahead and turn off the metronome and just let her pedal at a comfortable pace. We'll monitor her heart rate every minute, and then we'll take the data and see what her estimated VO2 max was. Thanks for watching this video on how to proctor a YMCA GXT test, and I look forward to proctoring more tests in the future and seeing how Emily continues to progress on her journey in fitness. So thanks again, guys.